I can get this thing to work right. There we go. What's up, guys? Welcome back to History Saver 1941. A more upbeat live stream today because I am not fighting a tropical storm. And we are back from Charleston and Savannah. And man, what an epic time I had filming for this American Revolutionary War series with an emphasis on the war in the South, or the Southern Campaign during the American Revolution. And it was cool. It was cool. I was able to visit a lot of really neat places in Savannah and Charleston. I am back home now. I'm hoping this live stream feed keeps up because I am driving, so I don't know what the signal is going to be like. So if it stutters here and there, I apologize. But yeah, we're back home, man. Charleston was awesome. We got some cool places in Charleston that's coming to you. We have some plantations. We've got a old Prevost jail. You guys probably know what I'm talking about when I say that. We've got a lot of cool locations in downtown Charleston. We've got a house that George Washington stayed there in when he visited in the 1790s. We've got some of the old battle sites, the original battle sites from 1777, 1778. That's going to be included in this thing. It's going to be an awesome series. Savannah was even cooler in my opinion. I love Savannah. Anything concerning Savannah, I absolutely love. Savannah is one of my absolute most favorite places to visit, hands down. Savannah is just cool and a lot of fun. Savannah, we went to the Spring Hill Redoubt. You'll be seeing that. You'll be seeing a Jewish cemetery, which has a really cool history behind it. You're going to be seeing some sites around Savannah and the squares and some of the things concerning the Battle of Savannah during the American Revolution. It's going to be an awesome, epic time. Today, we dropped our first episode of this American Revolutionary War series in Valley Forge. So I am super excited about this episode. It was a lot of fun to make. I only spent really about an hour in Valley Forge. I was really pressured for time, but that's all I needed was an hour. An hour to see the place, an hour to bring you to the place, an hour to show it off. You know, we don't get into all the history of Valley Forge. There's a lot you can get into with Steuben. There's a lot you can get into with Nathaniel Greene. There's a lot you can get into with George Washington. There's a lot you can get into with the mythology behind some of the stories that surround Valley Forge. Were the guys eating each other? No, and that's one of the stories that's often mythicized. Valley Forge, don't get me wrong, was a very, very trying time, okay, concerning the episode that went up today on Valley Forge. You know, there's a couple times in this episode I say something to the effect, Valley Forge wasn't as bad as they said it was. Valley Forge was bad, don't get me wrong. Valley Forge was every bit of the winter that they say Valley Forge was. It was cold, it was miserable, it was rainy, it was wet, it was a lack of supply of food, it was a lack of supply of clothing. The guys absolutely went through the ringer. They were untrained soldiers. A lot of these guys were not professional soldiers. And then you had the guy by the name of Steuben come in, this Prussian. He comes in, and Washington, you know, takes a knowledge of him, and he puts him in charge of the training of his soldiers. If it wasn't for Steuben, the American colonies may not have won the American Revolution. And that's an absolute fact. Because of Steuben, he trains the American soldiers to act as one unit. And he writes a manual. He has interpreters. He can speak very little English. That is one of the other cool parts of Steuben's story. He speaks very little English. So when he's talking to these guys and calling out the commands of these guys, well, they're not really understanding what he's saying, and he's not understanding what they're saying. So he's got interpreters that's writing everything down, that's relaying the commands that he's giving and the orders that he's giving and the instruction that he's giving. So it's a very cool story when it comes to Steuben. How someone who barely even speaks English can turn the American army, the colonial army, around, and they win the American Revolutionary War. Before Valley Forge, the American colonies, the colonial army, was going through the ringer. They were suffering loss after loss. They had Brandywine. The British had taken over Philadelphia. The only good part they had going for them was Saratoga. And They are just losing battle after battle. Their morale is deprived. Their sense of morale is, sorry, went down a hill, lost connection for a minute. But anyway, the American colonies are suffering pretty bad before Valley Forge. They are suffering loss after loss. Their morale down. They're being beaten. A lot of these soldiers are untrained civilians. You very rarely have just a few professional soldiers here. So Valley Forge comes into play. It's a horrible winter. The guys are out, lack of food, lack of clothing. They're untrained. They're not ready for these conditions. The weather goes from rainy to sleeting to cold and miserable to snowy. And it's just a complete nightmare. So they build these log fortifications that you see in this episode that we ran today on Valley Forge. And the National Park Service has done a tremendous job at recreating this to give you an idea of the living conditions. Of course, when I was there, it was 90-something degrees. It was very hot, extremely hot, unusually hot, I think, for that area. And it was very hot. So I didn't get really the experience that some of the men may have got. It's really hard to do that because, hey, I was fed, I had good clothes, I'm not freezing to death. I'm not suffering, so it really wasn't an accurate, I didn't get any of the feelings that the colonial soldiers had there during the American Revolution. And, that was a cool experience. So just seeing the huts and things, but there's so much more you could get in the Valley Forge. We were able to see George Washington's headquarters, which was extremely cool. One of the places I've wanted to see my entire life. I was able to step in that house. The National Park Service volunteer there, Mr. Fisher, was kind enough to talk on camera to you guys and to me. I learned a lot along with you guys. This is a lot of information I didn't know. So, that's the reason why I like doing this. I learn along with you guys. And it was very cool to step into Valley Forge and to step in the shoes of General George Washington and see the places where Nathaniel Greene once stood, and see the places where Alexander Hamilton once stood. I mean, all of these notable guys were in that roof of that one house. That's hard to fathom. It's hard to imagine. It's hard to wrap your head around. And for a history nerd, well, that's absolute complete gold. It was an absolute dream. And it was cool just being there. And Valley Forge was an awesome experience. Next on the channel, you guys would see some stuff from Philadelphia, from Independence Hall and the Liberty Bell. Again, a very quick trip. We're not getting too into depth on things, but you guys get to see it. You get a little bit of information as well. So it's going to be very cool to dive into that. And then after that, well, we're going to be going into Savannah, Georgia. We're going to be experiencing the American Revolutionary War in Savannah, Georgia, seeing some cool places. And then after that, you're going to Charleston, South Carolina with me. We're going to experience Charleston, South Carolina together, all the cool Revolutionary War sites there, monuments, and different places. It's going to be a neat experience. And then after that, we are headed to upstate New York. That is the next trip on the agenda for this series that will be coming up within the next month or so. And that is something I absolutely cannot wait for. I have never been more excited about anything on this channel other than Gettysburg. We're going to head upstate New York. We're going to places in Syracuse. We're going to places around and close to Albany. We're going to see some of the French and Indian War iconic sites that are also merging in with the American Revolution and the campaign that's going on in that Mohawk Valley. We're going to talk about the Oneida, the American tribe, the Native American tribe that is allying with the Continental Forces, who play a major part in a lot of battles. So that is a cool aspect of history that is often forgotten about when the American Revolutionary War is talked about. And I cannot wait to bring you guys along with me to experience the Oneida tribe, to experience upstate New York, to experience a lot of these fortifications like Fort Stanwix and a lot of these other places that we're going to be traveling to in upstate New York. So that will be within the next month at some point, and I can't wait for that trip. That is the next one on the agenda. And then we're going to be taking the war back down south again and talking about some actions in Pensacola, Florida, and Spanish West Florida, in that area that is often forgotten about. That area is held by the British. And there's going to be some things there that is forgotten about in American Revolutionary War history, especially when it concerns the Southern Campaign. It's going to be a very, very neat experience, a very neat trip, and I can't wait to take you guys along with me. And I feel like Gary Edelman talking about the Civil War right now, but talking about the American Revolution, because I am hyped. This is some stuff that you don't see a lot of on YouTube. You see some stuff from the History Underground from time to time. He's been to Boston. He's been to some really neat places in that Massachusetts Bay Colony area. And I highly, highly urge you to go check that out. Project Past also has some stuff on his channel. He's did some stuff from Savannah in the past as well. I suggest going and checking him out right now. Go check him out when he goes to Spring Hill Redoubt. He's got some very cool videos and information there. We're also going there, but we're going to hit some more places as well. We're going to check out some cool museums. We're going to check out a bunch of neat places in this series. And I've drilled Civil War into you guys. We've done Gettysburg. We've done Vicksburg. We've done Civil War. I love Civil War history. It is an absolute passion for me. I absolutely love World War II history. That is my absolute favorite. But I have to tell you, the American Revolutionary War stands above most when it comes to my passions, because for the simple reason, this is places I really have a chance to go. I live in South Alabama along the Gulf Coast. We have a couple of American Revolutionary War sites where I live, but there is not a lot here. We have some stuff in Mobile. We have a lot of stuff concerning the Spanish. We have some stuff concerning the British. Cinezar Productions, my favorite historical YouTube channel. Thank you so much, man. That means the world. Seriously. Redoubt Productions, beat. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling like right now, man, as a road runner. So I don't get a chance to experience these places of the American Revolutionary War so much, because where I live in the South, there's not a lot here. I can go to Georgia, see things there, but it's still limited. South Carolina, there are a ton of things in South Carolina that's just overlooked. North Carolina, I do go to North Carolina quite a bit. You're going to be seeing a lot more American Revolutionary War material coming up in the future for the simple reason as it's overlooked. There's Civil War. I mean, the History Underground is bringing you stuff from Gettysburg all the time. It's bringing you stuff from battlefields all over. Nobody can top the content that the History Underground has, and some of the best out there. Project Past, some of the best content out there. It's bringing you all kinds of cool stuff. I'm trying to add something different to the wheelhouse, where I'm not going back and it looks like I'm, just riding the coattails of everyone else. I'm trying to make a path for myself. And the American Revolutionary War era is almost untapped. There's not a lot of stuff out there on it. And I see where a lot of people want that. I've been watching you guys' comments and you guys' interest, and I'm steadily seeing, can we have some stuff in the American Revolution? Let's do it, because I absolutely love it. I want to learn more about the American Revolutionary War myself, and it's a big area of interest for me. And like I said, every time frame of American military history is just a little diaper of baby pee and doo-doo that I want to dive into. That was probably the worst analogy you've ever heard. It's the worst one I've ever given. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like diving into a needle in a haystack and searching for that needle through all kinds of information just to learn more. That's what it is to me. And where did a baby diaper thing come from, man? I am seriously gone too Gary Edelman right now. Too excited. I've had too much coffee. But I don't think you guys understand how excited I am to get this off the ground to you guys on the American Revolutionary War series here. Let's get to some of these comments. There is some untapped potential content regarding the American Revolution. Exactly. There's so much untapped content when it comes to the American Revolutionary War. And, like I said, Project Past, Vlogging Through History, History Underground, all of these big channels have given you so much information that I could never top. So I'm trying to add something different to the mix, and not, just, hey, here's another Gettysburg video or another Antietam video, when they did the best of the best here. And I'm trying to find my own wheelhouse of this. And it's nice to untap into that. Readout Productions, Pennsylvania is a military history sandwich. It is. West PA, me, got French and Indian War. East PA got Rev War. And the middle got Civil War. Pennsylvania is just full of history. If I lived in Pennsylvania, I would never be home. If I lived in Virginia, I would never be home. I'm really jealous of you guys. Readout Productions. Yeah, I know, the baby diaper comment. It's fine. That's the road fatigue speaking. Yeah, I do have a little bit of road fatigue, guys. I have been going since July. I have been either on the road or in front of the computer or in front of this phone, editing, putting content out, trying to get the channel going. I want this channel to grow. I want it to succeed. I want to be able to do this and focus on this and learning history with you guys. It's an absolute passion for me. So in order to have the opportunity to maybe turn this into, more than just a hobby would be absolutely fantastic. Maybe one day to get there. That's not my main focus, because I love doing this and I'm going to keep on doing it, whether or not what it turns into. So this is where, where I love sharing and learning information with you guys. See, yeah, that describes me in a nutshell. If I had money for gas and car repairs, I'm off doing something. Yes, that is the biggest thing. The biggest challenge to doing this that I have found so far, since I've just hit the ground running with this, is not really the gas, but so much hotel expenses. I mean, it's not cheap staying at hotels. The best piece of advice, get you a pretty decent vehicle if you can get one, and turn that thing into a camper, man, and throw you some lunch boxes in the back of that thing. Do some camping and some cooking in the back of the thing. Watch Mav here on YouTube, one of my favorite channels to watch. I'm obsessed with all these camping channels. Camping with Steve's one of my favorite channels to watch. Mav is probably one of my absolute favorite channels to watch. The Outdoor Boys. I love camping channels. I have a weird obsession with camping channels like Corporal's Corner and those guys. And, they have some good ideas. Drew Sims is by far one of my most favorite. I love his content. Sleeping in your truck bed. Yeah, I mean, Mav, if you watch Mav's channel here on YouTube, he turned his truck into a camper, and it's absolutely amazing. He's got a ice chest back there as a refrigerator. He's got one of the Jackery generators, portable generators, is solar powered too. It's awesome. And he's got a whole kitchen back there, his bed, DVD player sits back there, plays Xbox. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's nicer than hotel rooms, honestly. Presently, my car is showing wear and tear from this summer. Yeah, this summer's been horrible. Left bearing, I fear, is going, and the transmission is getting fishy. Okay. Yeah, I understand what you were saying now. The left bearings is going trashy here too, as well, it sounds like. Hope it just needs a training fluid change. Maybe so. That is probably one of the hardest parts of this, is wear and tear on vehicles. I've got a brand new truck and another brand new vehicle, and man, I'm gonna tell you, when it gets the miles put on, it is no joke. This definitely has a lot of miles that goes on your vehicles from doing this. I mean, one trip was 1,000 miles, 1,200 miles for me. So it's definitely a lot of traveling. Hold on, guys. I'm coming through a car accident here. Let's see. Make sure I get through here okay and unscathed. Looks like somebody ran into ditch. Oh yeah. Somebody hit the ditch. So that's not good. Okay. But anyway, sorry about that. Let's just make sure we get through here safe and sound. And the road crews here are safe. There we go. See, my Hyundai's back seats goes flat, and I've already slept in the back once when it got rained out at a reenactment. So I'm thinking of improving it for next year. Yeah, man. I mean, definitely, it's worth the investment. Honestly, I know it's a not everyone can do that, or is in the position to do that, but yeah, it's definitely a goal to shoot for. I suggest getting you a truck, putting a camper shell on that baby, and rock on. It doesn't have to be a brand new truck. Get you a truck, camper shell, and that would be my suggestion. Or a Jeep. A Jeep's even a really, really nice vehicle to have for that purpose. You have any reenactments coming up? I have one coming up in November, World War II event in November. It's a living history event that I am currently planning on going to, but it's just according to the travel schedule here as well. But January, there will be another World War II event. There hasn't been a whole lot of World War II events in my area I've been able to go to. I've been on the road a lot. I've been doing other things. Life has just kind of gotten in the way of World War II reenacting. But no, I haven't quit. There is some more World War II stuff coming. It's just getting to some events. This summer has been brutal. I didn't even want to. I had several events I had planned to go to this summer in between travel, but it was just way too hot. There is no way at God's green earth I was going to go out there in a wool uniform, much less HBTs too, at 120-degree weather. It just wasn't happening. I may get involved. I may get involved in an event for the Wilderness 160. More on that later. That's absolutely cool stuff. Excuse me. The Wilderness campaign is the 160th event this year. A lot of other 160th stuff coming up too as well. I forgot about that. But yeah, I would love to be able to go to the Wilderness for the 160th. I may try to plan on it. We may see. We'll see where I'm at. Savior versus the Internet in a Foxhole Part 2. Oh yeah, the Foxhole video. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was in between trips and travel, and I had to come up with some kind of content because I had to tapped out on the content. I was getting ready for all of these trips that I'm doing now, so I was really cutting back on how much travel I was doing to get ready for this long stint here, and trying to save money for that. So I was really tapped out on on how much I was doing. So I had to come up with some content, and I was like, let's take a foxhole and let's sleep in it. I've been wanting to do that for a while. People have been wanting me to do that for a while. And yeah, there will be a part 2 of that, but that first episode was so bad, dude. It was so bad. I look back at the episode when I watch it now and I cringe. I absolutely cringe because I had no idea what the heck I was doing. I had an idea what I was doing, but you get in there and you're by yourself and the boredom sets in. That's not really a video you can do by yourself. Honestly, I found that out the hard way. You really need at least another person with you. So am I going to do that again? Yes, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do it in the American perspective this time. And we will do that. As far as the reenactment goes, we spent the last one in the Foxhole 2. Yeah, there's a lot more of those coming up. And that's pretty much our normal standard now for events. If we can dig a foxhole, that's what we're staying in. When we can't, we're putting up a little pup tent or a headquarters tent. So my dream blitz in the coming years would be to head to North Carolina, South Carolina to explore the Southern Campaign battlefields, Kings Mountain, Cowpens, and Guilford Courthouse, the true turning point in the Revolutionary War. That is so true. Cowpens, Kings Mountain, and then you got Camden. You've got all of the South Carolina and North Carolina had the most battlefields of the entire American Revolutionary War. That is a fact that is overlooked. South Carolina had the most. If you look at engagements during the American Revolutionary War, South Carolina leads by a lengthy margin of battles and conflicts and skirmishes. South Carolina is number one. And South Carolina is an untapped resource for the American Revolution. And it's something that people overlook. So, most definitely, that sounds like a dream trip. That's a trip I'm wanting to do. Even though I just come back from South Carolina, I am going to be headed back to North Carolina here soon. And we will be doing some content from there. When that's going to be, I don't know yet. But I am going back to North Carolina sometime in the near future. So that is going to be something I focus on with that. Let's see. My buddy, got to go to the gym. Talk with you later. See you later, buddy. Yeah, good luck at the gym. I need to go to the gym myself, but I just come back to coffee somehow. But yeah, South Carolina readout would be my dream blitz trip as well, is to hit all of those battlefields in the Southern Campaign in South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia. And, there's a few probably spread out in Tennessee too. I really don't know. I've got to dig more into Tennessee concerning the American Revolutionary War, but there's got to be something there. But yeah, it's something I really want to do myself too. Who needs a gym when you're within an inch of your life and Union Wolf uniform under the sun of your sun? That is absolutely true. If you guys have never reenacted or did anything with reenacting, that is the absolute truth, is that when you reenact, I swear every event, whether it's 20 degrees or 90 degrees, you're going to sweat out your fair weight of body water. It's inevitable. I mean, those things are hot. I don't care what kind of weather you're in. It's hot, and it's a weight loss plan for sure, most definitely. And yeah. So coming up, if you haven't already seen the Valley Forge video here on the channel, go do that. We've got coming up next would be Independence Hall to Liberty Bell in Philadelphia. Then we're going to be going to Savannah and Charleston. And then by that point, we will be in upstate New York, and you will start seeing stuff from upstate New York and stuff from the Oneida tribe and some other cool little things thrown in the midst too. It's not going to be all American Revolutionary War. I'm going to throw in some very cool museums and different videos for you to see as well. So it's not just going to be straight American Revolutionary War content. I'll give you a break in between every once in a while. I'll throw in something a little bit different, just to give you something different to look at so you don't get burned out on the American Revolution. Let's see, and then you feel like you gained 20 pounds from the rain soaking your clothes. Oh, most definitely. At least that needs to happen with me. Yeah, I mean, it's reenacting is you definitely get the sense of the struggles the guys went through, and you wonder how, in your mind, how in the world they competed with the elements. I mean, they were more used to the heat and the cold back then because they didn't have the heaters, they didn't have the air conditioners. I mean, they had fireplaces, things like that during the winter. But as far as air conditioners, they didn't have anything for that. So they were more accustomed to the heat. And I know some people get really, really aggravated when people say that. Way back in the day, they were taken to the heat better because they didn't have air conditioners. And then people get really ticked off when people say that. I've met some people at different events like that they just get ticked off by that, but it's a historical fact. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it is the truth. And that was the case. So yeah, whether they like it or not, that is the truth. So yeah, most definitely. If you never tried reenacting and you're definitely into all this, try it. There's people that'll let you borrow stuff that you see if you like it. And then if you like it, then you can, put in the money and time and effort and putting your own impressions together. That's, if you're new, never done reenacting, don't know if you're going to like it or not, but you want to try it out, that's my suggestion, is hook up with a unit, somebody have loaner equipment, they will throw you in, see if you like it for an event. And if you like it, well, if you like it for that one event, you're going to like it. So then start time, money, and effort into it. But yeah, guys, so I'm going to jump off here. I've got some errands to run. Thank you, Readout Productions, Cinezar, everyone else for joining in on this live stream. And just want to make you aware of what's to come. There's a lot of cool stuff coming, and I can't wait to share it with you. Until then, keep preserving history, stay safe, check out Project Past History Underground, Vlogging Through History, Addressing Gettysburg, Lionheart Filmworks, and History Fits. And then if you haven't subscribed to our channel here, subscribe and share the channel with your friends. And it's going to be an awesome, epic ride into the American Revolutionary War. Check out the newest video, Valley Forge, right here on the channel. Keep preserving history. Let's keep learning history together. We'll see you really soon.